Hey guys, welcome back to the Reed Homestead. Today we're going to go over how to make your own sweet gum tincture. Right here, sweet gum is a tree in the southeast United States, pretty prevalent. You know these little cones, you've stepped on them, they're a pain. Well, there's actually a good benefit to them. And that is it's a cold remedy, basically. It is used in Tamiflu. The seeds, let me check my notes. I had to take my notes on this. There's a big controversy surrounding the seeds from the sweet gum cone. They contain, this isn't the most level thing here, but they contain shikemic acid. Shikemic acid, and that's one of the ingredients in Tamiflu. It does not have an antiviral load in it, but it's the vehicle that drives the antiviral load to the flu infection, to the flu virus. So shikemic acid takes the antiviral load to the flu, attaches it to the flu, and then the antiviral load acts on the flu virus. So that's kind of clearing up some of the controversy. It's not homemade Theraflu or Tamiflu. It is one of the ingredients in both of those products. And you can find this information feralforaging.com did a really deep dive and cited all their sources on it. No, it's not. It doesn't have an antiviral load, but if you use it in conjunction with other natural things that do have antiviral loads, this can help drive those antiviral loads to the flu and help you beat the flu. Okay, so whenever temperatures change, as we're seeing now, it's the last week of February, so it's still cold, it's windy, you've got a huge blizzard up in the Northeast right now, and we're getting ready for spring. When you have these temperature changes, whether fall time or springtime, a lot of times the body reacts by getting a cold, sometimes the flu. Sarah has the flu right now. So this is usually when I do this. I started this tincture in September, and you can see how dark it is. And I'm going to add to it now. So I went out to the lawn. You can see what the sweet gum tree looks like. Okay, you can also, you don't have to use the cones. You could use the bark. You could use the roots as well. So let me see here. It's kind of hard to tell with the sun in my eyes, but hang on. Okay, you see up there? See all those cones? That's a sweet gum tree. Okay, you can see it way up there. Okay, so we have 2 or 3 on our property. So yesterday I went out, checked the garden, my winter garden. I got some garlic, some broccoli, cabbage going, and I saw a bunch of sweet gum cones. Now when I'm gathering sweet gum cones, you know, I'm looking for ones that are reddish, not too brown. As you can see here, okay, hang on. Okay, so you can see, if you look in there, each of those spikes is a seed pod. Okay, now you can see where the seed pod is opened. Let me get my knife and I'll show you. This is my everyday carry knife, by the way. I don't need a big bulky knife when I'm doing things for like cutting open packages or whatever. So I just keep this in my pocket. It's an Elk Ridge Just a pocket knife. So anyhow, you can see some of these pods have already opened up, but a lot of them haven't. So that's what I'm looking for. You know, I don't want those all, you know, it's fine if there's a few of them open, but a lot of them aren't. So I also look for the ones that are a little more red in color as opposed to brown that have been down for a long time. So you can see this one's kind of pronounced. You can see where the holes, hang on, there you go, where the holes have opened up and released a seed. Okay, so how do we get these seeds out? Easy answer. Hang on one sec. Be right back. Okay, so if you don't have a sweet gum tree in your yard or anything, they're all over the place in the southeast. So you can find them out in public land and stuff like that. Sometimes you'll find them on the side of the road. What you do is you just get a brown paper bag and you put your harvest inside the paper bag, close it up, set it inside for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Just forget about it, you know, put it down in the garage, whatever. As this stays dark, these seed pods will open up. Okay, so you're going to put these in a paper bag. This one happens to be chipotles. Just put them in there. Don't have to worry about it. Okay. Just dump them in. You don't have to clean them or anything right now. Put this over the side. Okay. Now, okay. So there's your bag of sweet gum. And you're just gonna close that up, tape it shut, whatever. Wait about a week and a half or 2 weeks. You can just set it aside and forget about it. As those seed pods are opening to check on it, you just take one out and you'll see all those spikies open up. Okay, you can see how they open. Not all of them are open, so that's what you're looking for, the closed ones. The seeds have the most shikimic acid in it, so that's what you're after. You're after the seed. To check it, you just open it up, see if the seed pods are open. If they are open, should take a week or two. Once they're open, just shake vigorously. All those seeds will fall out of the sweet gum cone, and then you'll be able to collect them. Okay. You could use just a paper plate, and that will you'll be able to, you know, get the seeds off the paper plate. What you're going to do with the seeds, you can put them in the colander and crush them up a little bit, or what I did is just throw them in grain alcohol. Okay, so I did this in the fall. A lot of people will use the green balls in the summer. Unfortunately, I don't have access unless there's a bad storm that blows some of those green pods off in the spring. You know, we don't have any ground level branches, so I've got to wait for the seeds. Here you can. So I did this in September. I was able to get a couple of the green pods. I did use some bark off a couple branches, and I mostly use seed. So what we're going to do is just get a fine filter. You can use a coffee filter if you clean it out. Just get a fine filter. You can see what's in there. Okay. There's an old lot of green sweet gum cones in there. We're just going to strain it. Whoops. We're going to strain all of that. I do have some leaves, some bark, stuff like that. We're going to rinse this out. There's leaves, there's bark, there's seed. Okay, I'll show you one of the seeds in a second. Let me rinse that cup out. Clean up a little bit. One sec. Okay, so what does the sweet gum seed look like? Well, let's get a couple. Here, they're tiny. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but right here, that's what they look like. Okay, so we got a bunch of them. Just kind of go through. We're just going to press all that through the filter. Okay, mash it down a little bit. Don't break the filter. I use this for, I do super hot tincture in the off season when I don't have fresh peppers. So I make extract the same way. Get rid of that. Birds will like that. Have a little party over there. So anyhow, I make extract. I make super hot tincture basically the same way, just with grain alcohol. Okay, so this is what you're left with, and that's your cold remedy / vehicle for antiviral loads. Now, we've got a little more grain alcohol in there, so when this batch is done, just strain the seeds, separate the seeds, shake the bag, dump it on a paper plate or, you know, piece of paper or something so you can see the seeds. You take the seeds, throw them in your grain alcohol, and let them sit for about 2 or 3 weeks, a month. The longer the better. Let's get some of that off. Not that it matters. Grain alcohol pretty much purifies anything. Sweet gum on its own, I want to make sure to refer to my research. On its own, it's a cough suppressant. So if you have lung issues like I do, maybe you have asthma or COPD or emphysema, God forbid, this is a cough suppressant and expectorant. It can boost the immune system, kind of like echinacea is supposed to. Pain relief. It does have an antimicrobial load to it, so it is an antimicrobial. You could use it for, you know, bug bites and things like that. If you get a small cut, it's an antiseptic. A lot of people in the South use them around their raised garden beds, and you just line the raised garden beds, the outside of them. That way snails and slugs can't get into the garden bed. They don't like climbing over the spiky outside of the cone. You can also use these pods in your compost bin. It creates air pockets. So it's not going to degrade, but it does help separate and create air pockets for compost. What else? So you can read more about it. feralforaging.com, drbarbara.info, and I first heard about it from Dr. Bill Lee, who used to be a doctor with the VA. He wrote a book called Let Food Be Thy Healer, okay, or something like that. But he's all over YouTube. You could check him out. I've also seen Dr. Mandel, Motivational Doc. Very good. He's on YouTube. He's talked about it before. So this is the vehicle that will drive an antiviral load to the flu. Well, what has antiviral loads? Garlic has an antiviral load. It has allicin and oregano sulfur. So that is an antiviral load. So you take the sweet gum, you could put garlic in this. Minced garlic, whatever, dump it right in. Now you've got an antiviral load in the vehicle. So that would be an example of providing a way for that antiviral load to make it to the flu virus. And there you've got the antiviral load and the vehicle all in one. Oregano oil also. It's got carbachol, it's called, is the main ingredient in oregano oil. So Dr. Mandel, motivational doc, did a video on this. A couple of drops on the tongue really helps clear up the lungs, helps with respiratory and everything like that. It's also got a strong antiviral load. Elderberry, the flavonoids in elderberry, they block flu replication. So the flu virus, when it attaches to a cell, replicates. Elderberry or flavonoids, also blueberries have flavonoids, block the replication. Echinacea is another one. Ginger is another one. Green tea is another antiviral. And mushrooms, specifically shiitake, have polysaccharides, and they block viral absorption. So your body won't absorb the virus because it blocks the virus from attaching to your cell. Okay, so shiitake's, green tea, ginger, echinacea, elderberry, oregano oil, and garlic. You could add any of those to this sweet gum tincture, and there you have like a Theraflu or a Tamiflu. On its own, it's kind of controversial. There's a lot of videos about it. On its own, this is not an anti-flu remedy. But if you mince up some garlic in there and put a couple of drops of oregano oil in there, maybe a little ginger, minced up ginger in there, now you're talking. Now you have an antiviral load with the vehicle that gets that antiviral load to your cells to block the flu. Okay? Let's see. What else? Oh, if you found this beneficial at all, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. We got some more stuff coming up here shortly. Just one sec. Okay, so a couple videos ago, we were talking about surviving the storm or a power outage. It was Camp Reed versus the Thunder Ice Storm, and I was making flame jelly. Well, I made about a little cup of it. I bought the calcium acetate and all that, mixed it up with some denatured alcohol, and it made just a little bit. So I'm going to go over, this is what I made since then, using a different technique. I'll go over how to make fire jelly or the flaming snowball, whatever. There it is. That's basically sterno fuel. So in a future video, I'll go over how to do this. That's a ton of it. I'm never probably going to use that much. But, again, very important, very beneficial sweet gum tincture right here. You could actually make tea with the leaves of a sweet gum tree. Has the same thing, anti-cough, expectorant, you know, stuff like that. Great for the lungs. You could use the bark during the winter. I don't want to scar up the tree, but you could peel some bark off and make tea that way too. You could actually peel some of the bark off and get some of the sap that comes out of that tree, and that also has antimicrobial type, you know, I guess you would say Tamiflu properties or Theraflu properties. You know, the same ingredient that's used in Theraflu, but when you add an antiviral load to it, now you're talking. So get ready for cold season, flu season. There is one ingredient for your flu. Definitely useful for colds, cough suppressant. Helps it boost the immune system. And that's sweet gum tincture. Anyhow, guys, that's it for the Reed Homestead. Hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, God bless. See ya.